everyone, how you doing today? My name's Eric. As always, I want to thank you for taking a minute and checking out my video today. On this episode of Smo'King, I'm going to be doing a review and giving you my first impressions on the Smartro ST49 Instant Read Thermometer. Now, I did a review on another one of their products, I think around 6 months ago, and it is the ST54 Dual Probe Thermometer. And I have to say, for the price, I've been very impressed with it. If you want to check out that video, I'll leave a link below. This is good when you actually have it in your smoker or in your barbecue grill. You can even use it in the oven to constantly monitor the temperature, and an alarm will go off when you get into that desired range so you don't overcook your food. The Instant Read, on the other hand, is something that you're going to use to spot check, that you're going to stick in, and within a few seconds you're going to get a nice readout of what the temperature is. And this is really a necessity if you're going to be any kind of outdoor cook, barbecuer, smoker. One of the biggest pieces of advice I can give people who are new to the hobby of grilling and smoking and barbecuing is always cook to temperature and not to time. And in order to be good at what you're doing out there and not ruining expensive pieces of meat, you have to have the ability to spot check your food. So this is kind of an essential thing that you need. A lot of other things you don't need, but you definitely need to get an Instant Read Thermometer. So stick around. I'm going to open a box, we're going to check it out, and we're going to test it. Let's get cooking. Alright, before we get into this and look at the product and see what's in the box, I want to tell you that I did get this complimentary from Smartro, just like I did the dual meat thermometer as well. But I will give you my honest feedback. By no way them giving this for free is going to be an indication on how I review it, because that would be a disservice to my viewers. So it comes in a nice little box, so if you were looking for a gift for your dad or your husband or your son who likes to cook outside, nice little box you can wrap up. Let's open it up. It's got a little warranty card here. I guess you can go register the product. We'll do that later. We got the user guide here, which is pretty basic stuff here, but kind of just tells you how it works. You can also self-calibrate it, I guess, in a glass of ice water if it seems like it's off. Gives you temperature guidelines for different things. Pretty common that you'll get with most Instant Read thermometers. So let's pull this out. And I notice it has this little silver thing here, which is a little key. Now it already comes right out of the box with a battery, and what this little key is, as you can see in the back here, you can use that to open up to get access if you needed to replace the battery. It's got like a little round watch type battery in there. So that's nice, and it comes preloaded with a battery, and they give you this little tool you can keep in the box so you won't have to fiddle with it if you don't have a coin or something to open it up. As with most Instant Read thermometers, this one activates the minute you open it up. So the minute you pull this probe out, you can see it lights up. And it's got both upside down, or whichever way it's turning, it's gonna move. And then the light will go off in a few seconds, but you can just tap it again to see it at nighttime. And from what I read on the instructions, you leave it laying down like this in order for the battery to be conserved. After I think 10-15 seconds, first the light turns off, and then eventually the unit itself will turn off. And then all you have to do is pick it up again. It's motion activated, and it'll come right back on. So that's a nice feature, that you don't have to physically flick a switch or a little power button on and off every time you need to use it. Now, the most well-known Instant Read thermometer, top of the line, is the Thermopen from ThermoWorks. And this looks very similar, and I'm sure they took that into consideration when designing it. It's also a red color like this. But the Thermopen, it's been reviewed. It's highly regarded as the best one on the market. It's expensive. It's $99, so $100 for an Instant Read. This one right here retails for $29.99. So for 30 bucks versus 100 bucks. And we're going to see how well it compares to that. I did go on their Amazon site, And this gets 4.9 out of 5 stars for the reviews. And I kind of glanced through them. There wasn't a whole lot of them, but they were all verified purchasers. And most of them gave it a perfect 5-star. So that's a pretty good indication that it's a well-made product. But anyway, let me get out some hot water. I'll get some ice water, and we'll compare this with the other Smartro dual thermometer, and I'll also bring out my other Instant Read, and we'll kind of see how accurate this is. We'll be back in a second. Alright, so I have a glass of ice water and a glass of hot tap water. I'm using my other Smartro dual probe thermometer to kind of give you a temperature reading, and we're going to test it out and see how accurate or how close it is. And this light goes off every few seconds. Okay, so it's showing the water is 102 in the hot and 52 in the cold. So let's go for the cold first. And I know sometimes if it's touching the glass, it might give you a little bit of a false reading. So 52 degrees. So let's see where we're at here. I can't quite see. 53 degrees. Well, one's 52, one's 53. Okay, pretty accurate if you ask me. Okay, now let's see where we're at here. We're at 106 degrees. And let's see if you guys can see that. 109 on the bottom. 111. 110. Okay, 110, 111. 110, 100. So it looks like it's off maybe by a degree or maybe a half a degree. But, you know, I don't know which one's off. It could be this one, it could be the other one. Let me double check with what I normally use, which if you're familiar with my channel and videos, you know I use this Thermopro. I've had this thing for probably 3 years, and it's worked very well. So let's give this a shot just to double check it here, how it compares with this. So we're at 49 degrees, and this one you might have a harder time seeing because it doesn't have a backlit. 52, 50 degrees, and the other one's 49. Okay, well that's off 1 degree too. Let's see the hot one here. Lift it up so I get an accurate reading. We're at 109. 105, 107, 108.5, 109. Oh, just switch to 110. All right, let me compare these two. Let's see. So I got to tilt the angle. 49, 49, 49.2 versus 49.1. So that's pretty close. And now this one, 110.1. Give it a second to kind of calibrate it here. 110.4, 109.2, 109.4, 109.6. Up. It's like a half a degree. 109.8 versus 110.1. So, you know what? I think it's pretty accurate. Alright guys, before I give you my final thoughts, I'm just going to go over some of the specs that you can get on their website or on the Amazon page. They say between 1 and 3 seconds to get an accurate readout on the temperature. That sounds good. Its accuracy is 0.07 of a degree plus or minus, which also falls into the category of being very accurate. Yeah, another nice feature is that it's waterproof. So if you were using it over on the stove top and you were measuring the temperature of something and it slipped and filled in some water, it's okay. Up to 3 feet in water it can be submerged and it's perfectly going to be fine. And then I already told you about, you know, the motion light, the sensor. If you pick it up, you can turn it around and upside down. It powers off automatically. So, you know, for a $30 Instant Read thermometer that could end up being valuable to you, especially if you're cooking some expensive pieces of meat, a prime rib or brisket, and you've been spending several hours out on the smoker. You really need something like this to make sure you're cooking your meat properly and you're not overcooking it or undercooking it. So to me, this seems like a no-brainer. Obviously, I'm going to have to use it out in the real world with my smoker and barbecues and grills, and I might give you an update down the line. But you know what? For the price, for $30, you know, if you can't quite swing it to spend 99 bucks on the top of the line model, I think this would be a nice alternative that's a third of the price. As always, guys, I appreciate you watching my video. If you like it, please hit the like button. I would love it if you would consider subscribing to my channel. You can click that down here, and then on the up top here is a link to my website, ericsmokingbbq.com. I feature photos and all the recipe notes, as well as a link to the videos on all the dishes I either smoke or prepare. So if you're looking for a specific recipe, just go to my website and use the search function. As always, guys, thanks for stopping by. We'll see you next time.